the other side of this front looks pretty good. We check our buggy meter here the next few days. We're humid today.
We'll just check the weather while I wait.
Buggy category, but Wednesday, all of that coming back down.
This was an unplanned broadcast. So.
Levels in the atmosphere. We look ahead in our 7-day forecast, and as we did, see the coming down, sitting in the mid-80s there for a little while before we heat up as we head toward the weekend. We appreciate so much for stopping by. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Caucasian Sasquatch, welcome. How you doing today? This was an unplanned broadcast. So, we're riding by the seat of our pants today. Oh yeah. Hope you're staying cool, man. It's forecast says it's 87, feels like 89, but man, it feels like I'm on the sun. Hello, Denise. How you doing today? I hate this camera. Was advertised as HD, but it's just so grainy. How can it be HD? I think it's false advertising. The topic today, Sasquatch, is, SHTF communications. If you have questions or comments or ideas, whatever works for you, we can share it here. Try to do our best to answer the questions. If not, we'll give you some tips and places where you can go to get the answers. But basically, shit hit the fan. Emergency communications. And I thought it'd be easier just to do a live than it would be to I'm backed up on videos. I have so many videos started and I've not finished any of them. So I thought it'd be easier to do it live. No, I actually haven't. The only thing I have looked into that would be closely related to lo-fi would be the mesh networks. Tell you what, man, I hope you have a faster internet connection than I do, bud. I'm telling you. I have 18 megabits per second, and a 10-minute video takes like 30 minutes to upload, depending on. It's crazy. We're supposed to be getting fiber optics down this road pretty soon. They have, they've been hiding. They've been hanging the wire out there on the road, so fingers crossed. Actually, Sasquatch, if you want to come up, I'll be more than happy to get you up here if you want to. Anybody, really. Speaking of radio, there's mine talking now. I have a GMRS base station here at the house. Actually, it's a Midland MXT 115. It's got a power supply and a base station antenna about 20 feet in the air. roughly 20. Making sure I wasn't getting a visit. Devil dog, hoorah! What are you doing this fine Monday afternoon? I had to stop and think for a second there. I thought it was still Sunday. Y'all keep me up late. Tell you what, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bust that leak, and then we'll. Yeah. Yeah, I hate this camera. Oh my god, it's the worst camera ever. What you been into today, Devil Dog? Anything good? It's really grainy on my side, so it may not be on yours, but it is here. Really grainy. No, I seriously doubt that fiber optic is going to be working after shit hit the fan scenario. Um, it's just like any other part of the infrastructure. It's affected by. It depends. I mean, what kind of if it was. Hello, Miss Southern Belle. If it was a let's say an EMP, okay, they detonate the mushroom in the clouds there, and to maximize their coverage. No, because it's electronics, and they're not going to harden. Let's face it, folks. We should have hardened all of our infrastructure years ago, and now it's it costs billions of dollars to harden everything, and fiber optic uses light. Yes, but it still has to be fed from somewhere, from a central hub, and you know if there's no electricity to run that fiber optics, then there's really no point even. You know what I'm saying? But I can't believe it took them. God, the only service we've had out here for years has been DSL, and it's just now gotten to where it was fast. I'm really, really amazed that they're putting fiber optics in, but they also claim that it's part of that FCC's broadband for everyone type of deal, and so. Well, I tell you what, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. And, you can always daisy chain a lot of routers too. It's not too hard to do as long as they have line of sight. And of course, if you get the right ones, you can have external antennas, which you can put out there on the roof or slap it on the roof of a car. If you get creative, you can make a magnet mount for your Wi-Fi, and of course, it won't be. It's not going to be the World Wide Web. It's going to be a private network, but it's very doable. And technology has come a long way, and the antennas and thank you, Miss Southern Belle. I appreciate that. He's a clever primate. You know, that clever primate has been tree knocking in my backyard in the woods. I'm not sure what he wants or she wants. He, she, or it. If anybody knows where that's from, let me know. He, she, or it, or they. Yeah, cheap parts at that. I mean, I'm not saying cheap isn't garbage. I'm just saying you can get them inexpensively. You know. So I get the feeling that you've tried it out, Caucasian Sasquatch. I mean, that actually sounds like something I would want to throw together. It's me, Angie. Good evening. Good evening, neighbor. I guess my first question for the handful of people who are in here now: have you considered radio as a communications means during a shit hit the fan situation? If so, what type? Hello, Jack. Miss Southern Belle sent you. Well, she is awesome. Yeah, another place you can find cheap stuff is thrift stores. I've given away more modems, not modems, but routers than I care to mention, really. And most of them I found at a Goodwill. There's a Goodwill about 12 miles from me that is just treasure trove. It just blows my mind what people donate. I have a monster Yamaha receiver that's just insane. That thing is I only paid $7 for it. It's like a 200-watt Yamaha audio video receiver, and that thing is just a monster. Okay, Angie, you're using your family's used ham. That's a good start. Me personally, I've hello, Devil Dogs Keeper. It's okay. I appreciate the thumbs up and your babysitting. Well, that's awesome, and I'm glad that you took the time out to say hello. And that's sounds like fun actually. Babysitting would be a change of pace for me, but I assume you're babysitting some family and not Devil Dog. Sorry, Eddie, I had to, but yeah, that's awesome. I miss those days. Actually, I miss those days raising my kids. I don't miss the crazy nights though. When they would get their days and nights mixed up, and they were little. And Devil Dog, I know you're laughing, bud. Just busting chops. But I tell you what, Southern Bell, CB radio is a really good option, and there's no license required. And CB radio, believe it or not, is still very popular. So it's in a bad situation. It would get your message out there, and you possibly find some help. And nothing, if nothing else, um, hello, Tonette. If nothing else, even if you're just too shy or too worried about your security, and you have a CB radio, or you have GMRS or FRS or MURS or ham, if you're just too shy or too worried about your privacy or your safety, you don't have to necessarily talk on a thing unless it's a life and death situation. I could totally understand that. But if you listen, a lot of times you learn more, you know. I think Miss Southern Belle would be an awesome handle. And she is such a character. She's so much fun on YouTube. I just can't imagine her on a CB. Hello, Tiny Tim. Welcome to our live. You're going to abandon us, brother. Not when we just get to know you, and then you want to run away to the wood or to the swamp. And well, I tell you what, I see how you are now. Smoke signals, that might actually be cheaper in the long run. Bear with me here. I'm having to deal with a touchpad. Hot old blonde. My goodness. Sasquatch, part of my property here, after about 3 days of rain, is a swamp. You're more than welcome. Frogs don't bother you if you don't mind listening to them croak all night long. Have an extra class amateur radio license, not active in years, but keep license up to date. That's awesome, Tiny Tim. I don't want to bust. I'm not busting anyone's chops here or anything by saying this and that, but I've done everything from CB radio, GMRS, FRS, MURS. I listen to shortwave radio, and I've had a few low power radio stations on. Even, maybe once or twice might have, pushed the law a little bit and run pirate radio, but I've never done ham, only because it's been pushed on me so much. Even the people who run the local GMRS repeater out here have been hounding me to get my ham license, and it's I probably will, but I've heard it so much. It's just like, and again, no offense to you, Tiny Tim Posey. It's just that I hear it like it's like a preacher trying to bring people into the congregation or the cult, you know. So, I'm going to learn ham radio on my own, you know. Hello, Jack. Welcome to the live. That's true. That's true. You don't need a license in any emergency situation where your life and property is threatened. You can use whatever means you have for communications. Let's say that there's just been a hurricane. Let's say there's been a hurricane and there's no power, cell phones are down, and you have a ham radio. Let's say let's just use this valve thing for example. Now this is not a ham radio. This is GMRS. Let's say you got one of these, whether you're licensed or not, you can still turn that radio on and say, "Hey, I need help." It's a hairdresser's license. Well, I bet Miss Southern Belle made them ladies look purty. Yeah, Tonette, you can actually, there's some pretty affordable software defined radios out there. That's basically all it is pretty much like this drive here, just like this thumb drive. Okay. This contains a radio, and you'd have to install some software into your computer, but you essentially use your computer as a receiver to control the receiver. Actually, I'm telling on myself, Jack. This this is one of the original Baofangs UV5R. Okay, I actually bought this years ago, and you can maybe see that let's see if we turn it on.
Frequency mode.
You can see the keypad is well worn. This is one of the originals, and when they came out, they were like $30. I used this at a racetrack in Corbin, Kentucky, actually on the racetrack staff frequency, and actually the people around me that were using beat up Motorola's were crying. They're like, I wish my radio sounded that good, blah blah, and I'm like, for $30 it can. But yeah, that's one of the original Baofeng UV5Rs. This one here is the UV9G. This is a GMRS handheld. I know where the camera is, but I still can't line it up. And my GMRS license is my call sign is WRQC947. Yeah, I used to be able to copy Morse code pretty well, and after working at a racetrack and around loud music and whatnot, tinnitus has kind of changed that for me. Things don't sound the way they used to, and I also do. I've also done, just. I've done sound engineering, and it's not the same. I can't hear the high ends as well as I used to. So it's nice that they dropped the test because I wouldn't be able to copy it. Yeah, I think my business license is still active. Well, I haven't really checked on it because I had closed my store a long, long time ago. Lisa, this Miss Southern Belle says, let's think about how many licenses we need. Right? I mean, and you need a hunting permit. Well, that's what they call it here. Permit. A permit. I gotta go out there and get me a hunting permit. Or bag me deer. That's um that's something I started to do when I was about 18 or 19 years old. Was I was going to get my private pilot's license, but my life went in a different direction. I think the cost was prohibitive at the time. But I have flown quite a few planes. I knew a lot of pilots when I was growing up. My favorite plane is the Piper Cub. I absolutely loved flying that plane. It was handled so nice. But I have considered getting a drone and possibly get the business version of the drone license because you can make some pretty good money with aerial photography. Oh, absolutely! It's me, Angie. Jack, I'm in Central Kentucky. Yeah, Miss Southern Bell's right on it. She knows. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. Ah, the Catalina. I always wanted a Bel Air. I just love the look of a Bel Air. The Nomad is probably my most favorite. That was just a huge wagon. Miss Southern Belle, sometimes I wonder if they actually have a license with some of the crap they pull on us. Well, you got to take this handful of pills now. Hmm. Do I really? Yeah, marriage license. Well, I guess it's a good thing we don't have to study for that license, for the marriage license. But maybe a manual that went along with it would be helpful. And I'm speaking from experience. I think it should have come with a manual. You know what I always wanted to ask the doctor? I always wanted to ask him, are you done practicing? Or are you going to do it for real now? I mean, just, I tend to be a smart ass to doctors, just see what they can. You don't want a marriage license? Miss Southern Belle, you are a free spirit. You can, well, with that personality, you can get any man you wanted. Oh my. Yeah, they don't have a license to raise children. Well, it's me, Angie. You can't say you didn't have a warning though, because I'm sure that you know a lot. You know a lot of people who had children before you had yours, and it shouldn't have been a surprise much. But they can pull a new one. Wow, 35 years. That is awesome. So speaking of licenses now, since we're on that subject, and we've already covered the fact that you don't during a emergency situation you don't necessarily need a license to call for help. Well, let's say it's not a crisis right now, and you want to get into GMRS. Let's say maybe ham or CB wasn't interesting to you, or it's not going to work for your situation. GMRS has gotten affordable. It used to be $70 for only 5 years. Now the license, there's no test. You just pay the FCC. Now the license is $35 for 10 years, and it covers your whole family. So your whole family would use the same call sign. Let's say your call sign was WRQC 947, and you could always stick on the end Unit 1, Unit 2. GMRS is the General Mobile Radio Service. It's in the UHF band, about 462 megahertz to 467 megahertz. There's a use of repeaters, and the power levels go from 5 watts, which this radio is capable of 5 watts. Figure out where the camera's at. You're allowed 5 watts up to 50 watts, and the use of repeaters as long as you have that license. And we're not in a, SHTF type situation. These radios are pretty affordable. I paid $40 for this one. And this is the Baofeng UV9G. It also doubles as a scanner. I just said what it stands for. Excuse me. GMRS is General Mobile Radio Service. It shares the same frequencies as those cheap little walkie-talkies you get at Walmart. They're sold as FRS, Family Radio Service. Family Radio Service walkie-talkies like this that you buy at Walmart usually only have 2 watts, and they don't need a license, but they do share the same frequency as GMRS. No, 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 because I'm on to you, son. I'm on to you, Marine. um, no, I sure don't, Sasquatch, but I'll ask around if you don't mind coming to Kentucky to get it. I'm sure somebody out there does. I'm on to you. I'm on to you, man. You're not that sneaky, Marine. um, yeah, I love WKRP. It was awesome TV show. And however, I did not, and I repeat, I did not have a crush on Lonnie Anderson. I just did not see. I got the whole idea. I got the whole concept behind Lonnie Anderson, but she did nothing for me. We'll just get that out there now. Yeah, GMRS is the same way. There's no renewal. Um, yes, there is. Never mind. There is a GMRS renewal fee. So it's $35 for another 10 years. But what I was thinking of is if you have to change your address, there's no charge to change your address. So I'm planning to move up the road, and all I have to do is go to the FCC website, put the new address in. They'll create a new license for me with the address. But oh boy, they got so cheap. The FCC's got so cheap now that you get a PDF of your license and you have to print it off yourself. Uh, no, I don't. I've heard of the Nextdoor app, Miss Southern Belle, but I've never messed with it. I think you're asking Sasquatch that, though. Yeah, you can renew it online, which, I could, same thing with my driver's license and my tags for my vehicle. I could do all that online now. It's actually nice because uh, here in Kentucky, they've changed it now, and you have to track down instead of the DMV office being in your county. Now you have to go somewhere way out of your way to renew your driver's license or get tags or plates for your car, get it registered. Just nonsense. I don't want to drive all over creation to find that office when I could have drove 12 miles into my county seat and take care of business. All they're doing is just making it harder on people. So look, Sasquatch is a neighbor to Miss Southern Belle. It's awesome. I've run into maybe, I think, two or three people on YouTube that live in Kentucky. Yeah. Yeah, Jack, I agree. Time for a cup of coffee. Very large cup of coffee. Yeah, I was working on, and it's still up to this day. I was working on GMRS Radio Club, and basically, what they do is people in their own communities can use the name, excuse me, Central Kentucky GMRS Club if they wanted to, or they can branch out and make their own club. And uh, so far, I've only gotten a handful of people interested. Steve, the pleasure angler. Good evening to you, bud. How you doing? Mississippi. I heard somebody say. I heard somebody call it Mississippi the other night. I think it was last night. Oh, okay. Talk to you later, Miss Southern Belle. Thank you for stopping in. I tell you what, I'm still up in the air about this. I have a 2000 Grand Cherokee Sasquatch that I've had for about 7 or 8 years, and my buddy was driving it one day, and for some reason the thermostat did not warn him that it was running hot, and well, you know how aluminum heads are with heat. Busted the head. So there's antifreeze in the oil. I've been over a year without a car, and it's actually killing me. But I'm up in the air with this. I don't know whether I want to tear it down and rebuild it, or if I want to just get rid of it and go out and get another Jeep. I'm just a diehard Jeep fan. I know they're hard on gas, but if you saw the hill I have to climb and the roads out here, you would understand why I'm a diehard Jeep fan. I mean, they just go just about everywhere. Thank you for that, Devil Dog. Appreciate you, bud. So, Devil Dog, when you were in the Marines, did you ever have the opportunity to mess with radios? Did you have to learn to use radios in the Marines? Yeah, I'm going to share the link one more time. If anybody wants to go ahead and join, you can. Bless you, kitty cat. Oh, okay. Well, my brother was one of the ones that when he was jumping out of airplanes, he was Army, 82nd Airborne. When he was jumping out of planes, he was the man with the radio on him. And I prayed he would never have to be in combat. They're the first one they pick off when you're jumping out of that plane. You jump out of that perfectly good airplane. I love my brother. I pick on him about it, but he's impressive. He really is. Yeah. He was he had that radio pack on his back. Yeah. Well, it's I guess they I don't know, it's a massified Devil dog, I knew what you meant, but so they pretty much in the Marines, they probably evaluated you and decided where you would fit in the best, I guess, according to your skill set, right? I have to get me a water bottle so I have more water sitting here by the desk. Oh, okay, I see. So I have a handful of videos on hold right now, and one of them will be CB radio. I was going to start my series on communications and just spotlight each radio service out there and give it a rundown of what those radio services offer and how they can be useful in any situation. And remember, I mean, you always enjoy that radio. It's best to understand how those radios work. So you can always enjoy those radios before something bad happens. That way you're well versed on your radios. You understand how they work. You know their limitations. Okay, I see. Yeah, I was going to go into the Air Force until they saw my medical, and they were like, "Yeah, you're not cut for any service." Well, I wasn't able to serve, but I wanted to go into Air Force for avionics. I was already good at tearing car motors apart, and I thought, why not step up to a plane? And I was raised around aircraft all my life. So, at the time, it just seemed like a good fit, but I was also interested in radio since I was 8 years old at the time and up until high school. The recruiters showed up, at the vocational school. And I was taking radio and television broadcasting, or what they call broadcasting arts. That was my last 2 years of high school at a vocational school in Sharonville, Ohio. Now, unfortunately, that radio station and that class is gone. They just decided they couldn't afford it, and they turned their license into the FCC, and they sold all the equipment and closed the radio and TV class down. Now, I think the only thing they have left is downstairs is the communication electronics. So I took a separate course in electronics, and then I did a little bit of apprenticeship with an engineer. Sadly, he's no longer with us, but he's a hell of a guy, though. He knew his stuff inside and out, and he'd be quick to make you laugh. You know, he's just always fun to be around. You never knew what he was gonna pull on you at the radio station. I worked at several, but they were all owned by the same company. I occasionally get a call, and they'll say, "Hey, we need somebody to fill in," and I'll come in and help if I can. Sometimes I get pop in visitors, and I thought pretty sure he was going to pull up the driveway, but he went on by. So I'm going to step into the kitchen real quick, get me some more water. I've done it before, Devil Dog. Sure have. That same engineer that I worked with, he may or may not have supplied parts. Just saying. Okay. All right. Angie, you have a great day over there. Thank you for stopping in. Really appreciate that. Yeah, Devil Dog. I've actually done that and broadcast, just a couple days out of the month, and covered quite a few miles. The key is with a station like that is you don't broadcast 24/7. Just sporadic is the best. And FCC only responds to complaints. So if you're not interfering with anyone, you're not playing anything objectionable, chances are you're going to get by with it. I bring it every day. Hello, how are you doing? Good to see you, Kelly. How's your Monday going? Okay, I'm a little behind on chat, and now I see you flying yacht turned tiny house. Yeah, I want to see that. Art Man, good evening to you. Welcome. Jack, they have a really cool. I'm doing really good, Art Man. Yeah, Jack, they've got a really nice almost coast to coast GMRS repeater network set up now. It's really incredible. I've only talked on it once, and then I've talked over GMRS in Chico, California. And I don't know if you've ever watched his channel, but Not a Rubicon has a repeater that he set up over Zello. And as long as you're licensed and you're respectable, you can get on his repeater and talk to people in Chico. I think Chico is Southern California, if I'm not mistaken. My temperature here, I'll just share it with you all. Just a second here. There you go. So it's 87 degrees Fahrenheit. Feels like 89. Humidity is 47%. Dew point 64 degrees. Barometer's at 29.92 inches. I'll give you a look at the radar real quick, because I haven't looked at it much today, so this will be the first time, at least for today. Looking good. Looking good. Nothing. Well, that's questionable down there to the south, isn't it? Oh, wow. So it looks like northern Florida and Georgia and Alabama are getting a little bit of stuff down there to the south. Yeah, Wisconsin, Minnesota, get some stuff out of Canada. You gotta love StreamYard. I mean, at least you can open other things up and not have to look at me all the time. I think we could even bring up the porch camera. How about that? You guys want to see the porch? Voila. Here's the porch cam. It's looking down towards the driveway. And yes, the bush hog is still broken. It's going to be a jungle. I'm going to have to hack my way out of the back door. I'll have to get me a sharp machete to get out. Yeah. Yeah, man, she said that a few minutes ago that her battery was running down. I keep looking out the window. I have a feeling I'm going to have company pretty soon. And if so, I may have to cut it short. I hate to, but Devil Dog, you still in there? Oh no. What do you say, bud?
What's up? What's up, Barry? What is hold on. What is SHTF? When the shit
Shit hit
the
the
fammoth?
fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to finish getting set up here. Yeah, I
I
was on
hear
my
I hear monkeys fling poo.
a
They're
monkey.
liable to throw they're liable to throw poo right at the fan. So we have monkeys running the nation, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
All right. Hello,
Any
everybody.
day now.
Yeah, just because you know all these abbreviations for the radio crap,
Hey,
beginners or people like me that don't know jack shit.
you know, yeah, but I mean, don't Marines, just like any other military branch, use a lot of abbreviations?
Yeah, but the thing is if you're trying to get people into it or teaching them or whatever, and you're talking a
That's
bunch
what
of
we're here for.
no, but I know that. But if you're talking a bunch of technical jargon, saying "gee," whatever, blah blah blah, and all these abbreviations, people are like gonna be like, "I don't know what the heck he's talking about. I'm leaving."
Now, if I said General Mobile Radio Service,
Yeah.
I
Then,
mean, you're still stumped, right?
well, let me see. General Radio Mobile
General
Service.
General Mobile Radio Service.
Well, it's general radio, meaning it's for the general population. It has to
Mhm.
do with the radio, and it has to be moving around mobile. And services like AT&T or something, so that would be talking about like a bandwidth or something like that it communicates off of. So if somebody has common sense, and you say general radio mobile service, they can kind of maybe figure it out, but scrapping, hoarding, tinkering, fun. But if you say GMRS or whatever, they're like, "What the hell is GMRS?" See
It's
what I'm saying?
funny because I could tell you CB and you automatically know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what a CB radio is. I honestly don't know what it stands for. Citizens Band. That's what it stands for.
That's right. Yeah. So you know more than you know.
No, I don't know more than I know. I don't know more than what I really never knew. I don't know. I just confused myself.
You'll be all right.
Yeah. Oh, the mountain folk come on same time you did, and I didn't get to go see them, and they've been supportive too. So, and then I was gonna switch over a minute ago just to go say hi and stuff like that.
Oh, I mean, it's Eddie. I'm not going to be like, well, he went over to their channel. I'm going to
But
see
they
it.
no, but they were already gone. I was trying to hit both y'all, but I was on
Mhm.
my phone, and when on my phone I can't have multiple windows open on my phone. Of course.
No, I can't
Uh,
either.
so I was going to come in here and get on the computer, but they had logged off pretty quick. They weren't on that long. And you've been supporting me since forever, and I don't see you go live much, so I had to come in here. So I wanted to hit you both, but I didn't get
Yeah,
over I didn't get over to them.
I've had a lot of people get after me for not going live.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's something left over from
Uh
the underground radio days. That's just part of it. And there's some microphones in the other room. There's something wrong with this mixing board. I'm not quite sure what. Actually, I think what it is a software issue. This is a Windows 10 laptop, and the interface, audio interface, is USB.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the manual, and it says made for Windows XP and probably Windows 7. So I may have to go into settings and load it as a Windows XP to make it work. Oh, don't do that.
Dude, I haven't got much sleep at all the last 4 days or something.
Yeah,
Been feeling run down and everything else.
it's me too. And the time differences, and then you got people like my friends are like on WoW. They're just like, I wish you get on and play WoW. And I feel bad because my friend up in Canada paid for 2 months, even though I begged her not to. She paid for 2 months of subscription to WoW. And I was like, you know, so I was like, well, that was awesome, but really, uh, because they pay more than we do for the
Yeah,
sub.
I played EQ. I never got into WoW.
Well, I mean, things are so much more expensive up in Canada. I just don't know how. Honestly, I don't know how they do it. How they
Where's
survive.
Dark Paul?
Darkpaw is out running the woods.
Uh,
Missy's over here asleep.
yeah.
Trying to pack stuff up for the move. I'm hoping that happens pretty soon.
How far are you moving?
6 houses down, and
Oh, okay.
it'll be flat. I won't have to go up a steep, uh, icy hill to get to my house. I'll be on flat land. And, it's already been worked for a garden, so hey, no rocks to fool with. Like I do yours. You live on the edge of a mountain, man. I mean, especially Kentucky, it's just like 50 rocks for 1 grain of soil. I mean, it feels that way. I may be exaggerating, but it does feel like that. So I've got tomato plants and onions and potatoes. I've grown them in 5-gallon buckets. So when I move, just throw them in the truck and transport them. So I didn't grow a whole lot this year. Um, I wanted to, but
Hey, where's your buddy Belt Loop?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure where he's at.
He got to be at work, but
Yeah.
he may actually be working. Go figure. That concept's kind of out there. I know what it is. The higher brass than him is still at work. That's why he hasn't been on yet.
Oh,
Once they leave, then he'll get on.
yeah.
Or he's watching somebody else's live. Let's see who else is live. Get out of here.
Hello, Silver Scorpion.
Hello, Silver. He mowed his grass today. How does he not have YouTube?
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I'm trying to listen.
After he said all that, he goes, "Huh?"
Okay, we have. It is 5 o'clock. Yeah, people started going live now. There's not too many. None that I want to go to.
6:25 my time.
Yeah, 5:25 here. Golly, man, I can't stop, Barry.
I know it.
How many people's in here? It should say up. See where it says live up there, top left hand corner. Should have a number beside it in your actual screen. Look at me.
Yeah, I'm in StreamYard right now.
Yeah, I know. Look at me. See top left hand corner of StreamYard where our faces are. Says live 11150.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
So that would probably be us.
No, Denise is one.
Okay.
See right
Hi,
there?
Denise.
Denise Budnick. Yeah, see, she's on the same time zone as me. And Tiny Tim Posey's the second one. And I guess there may be somebody hiding or something, lurking. I don't know if that works in StreamYard or not.
No,
I don't think so. No, those are probably the only two. Tiny Tim Posey. Denise, where you at? You're Central Time Zone. I'm in Texas. Tiny Tim, where you at?
I think it's time for a new phone.
Why is that?
This one's got lines through the screen.
Did you crack it?
No, it's like remember back in the old days in analog television, you got lines through the screen.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like. It's probably it's about 2.5 years old, so it may be time to replace it.
I was about to say, why ain't these people answering me over here? She's from same place that your friend Belt Loop's from.
I reckon he's your friend too.
Yeah, well, dang. Yeah, I know somebody's bigger than you, though. Tiny Tim. My biker name was Crash.
Oh no. Do I want to know?
No, people just started calling me Crash when somebody wrecked into me one time. I was downtown Houston, and everything downtown Houston is one-way traffic, but there's like 3 lanes, at least 3 lanes going one way. And then when they have a cross street, 3 lanes going the other way, because it's not 3 lanes like this where they're side by side. You have one block that is down between the buildings is like 3 or more lanes going in one direction. Then the next block over, it's the opposite, and it keeps going like that in downtown Houston. Well, hey, Annie Sal's vlog, how you doing today?
Howdy,
Yep,
howdy.
you're right, Tiny Tim Posey. But so anyways, I was leaving my first job, going to my second job. I was downtown Houston going towards Humble, and I was going to take a left on 59. Well, I was in the very left-hand lane, and then the other cross traffic was stopped at a stoplight, and the guy in the right-hand lane seen me, and the woman in the middle lane was just looking at the stoplight, 3 foot, and she was in my lane. Well,
Thank you,
the light turned yellow on me, and I hit the freaking gas trying to beat the light. He stayed still in the first lane, and she just took off real quick. So I threw on my brakes, and I slid, and my backhand, there's a scar right there and stuff, but my backhand went through her passenger side rear window. My bike slammed my leg between the SUV and my bike. My bike fell over, broke the fairings and stuff, the side view mirrors and everything else. Daggum. And so I had a big ass knot on my freaking knee, and I was cut up, bleeding and everything. And the police came, the ambulance came, the ambulance wanted to take me to the hospital, and I flexed my hand and my leg. I'm like, nope, nothing's broke. I ain't going to the hospital, because I was a volunteer firefighter, back then too. I had been a volunteer firefighter, and I know how much ambulance rides cost, and unless I'm dying, the ambulance ain't taking me nowhere. And so the cop comes and he's like, "Man, I hate to give you a ticket, but you failed to yield or stop or whatever."
All
I'm
right,
like,
Jack,
"What?"
take care of yourself.
I
Bud.
mean, the cop was pretty cool. Take it easy, Jack. Appreciate you stopping in, buddy. So the cop was cool and everything, but he gave me a ticket and everything. I picked up my bike. I took it over to the sidewalk or whatever. I bent the brake pedal had been smashed like up into the, so I bent it back down. And the old saying, you fall off the horse, you got to jump back on it or whatever. That's true because freaking I was scared as shit after that, man. I mean, I didn't want to freaking ride that bike nowhere, but I had called my job and I had started this 2 weeks prior, and it was for Christmas money and everything. It was just a part-time gig at Papa's Barbecue just to make some spare Christmas money. And so I told him, "Hey, I'm going to be late. I just got no motorcycle wreck and everything else." And he's like, "Well, come on, when you get done, come on in or whatever." So I rode all the way from downtown Houston up to Humble without rear view mirror, side mirror, whatever, and everything else. And I was scared as shit, but I did it and rode up there, and that was on my Honda Nighthawk 750. That's the bike I wrecked then.
It's a nice bike.
And then got to work, and I thought the manager would see me all bandaged up and freaking my leg where it looked like instead of your knee bending this way, it looked like it bent sideways and stuff because that knot was so big. And I thought he'd say, "Hey, man, go home, get feeling better, come back, next time or whatever." Hell no, he made me work. So I was lugging 50-pound boxes of potatoes around and everything else, hurting like crazy and everything. I mean, that guy pissed me off, but
Yeah.
didn't want to lose my job. So, but then, yeah, and then they started calling me Crash. And so that kind of name followed me around. So that was my biker name. Luckily that's the only accident, and here's the thing, you're going to get into an accident, it's just a matter of when. And most of the time, you keep your head on the swivel looking around. And the one accident I get into was my fault because trying to beat a light. But then I got rid of that bike a long time ago, and then I got a Yamaha VMAX 1200, and it's been broke down for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
I spent like $2,000 on it, yeah, because it had the diaphragm. One of the diaphragms was cracked. It was backfiring through cylinder one, whatever. And I got new tires on it. I got the new diaphragms, carb job, tune up, everything else. Spent like $2,000 on it, and then left the dealership. And they didn't put the oil plug back in. Turned it around, took it back up there because I seen I was leaking oil or whatever, fluid or oil, one or two, fluid or coolant or oil, one or two. I don't remember what it was. Took it back up there. They fixed it. Left again, and it was still backfiring out number one. I don't know what the hell. And then the clutch slave went out in it, so it sat up for a year, and I changed the clutch slave myself, and then it wouldn't start really or anything. I think it was it would, but it would die right. I think it was, the carbs again had gunked up or whatever else. So it's been sitting there for 4 years, and it's dry rotted now, being out in the sun because it's over at a friend's house and his kids climbing on it and everything else. So I just never had the money to get it fixed or anything else. Yeah. Did you hit anything, or did you just lay it down, or what? Did you hit a deer? 11 DA. Oh, 11 days in the hospital. Okay. ICU for several days. Daggone.
Ooh, that's rough.
Well, see, here's the thing. I've been riding motorcycles since I was like 2 years old. my dad would put me in front of him on a bike or whatever, and they were amazed because I'd always lean the right way. I learned how to ride a two-wheel bicycle at 4 years old in Ohio on crushed concrete on gravel or whatever, on
Mhm.
gravel. Uh, and this is without training wheels. And I took the bike down like this. My mom thought I was gonna fall, and I just brought it back up and kept going. I've rode mini bikes and mopeds and dirt bikes, and I've rode bikes all my life. My first bike was a Honda 450 that I bought off of my dad. And the thing is before that, him and my mom was he was going for a ride, and he wanted my mom to go with him. And she was going with him, but he didn't want to wear his helmet. And she told him that if he wasn't wearing his helmet, she wasn't going. So he wore his helmet. And they were over in downtown, well, not downtown Houston, but they were over in Houston off of North Shepherd. And an orange gremlin pulled out right in front of them, and they hit it. My dad flew one way, my mom flew the other way. They were both life flighted to the hospital. They said my mom had internal bleeding and everything else. Uh, my dad had a broken nose and everything else. But here's the thing: his helmet was cracked straight down the middle and laying in two pieces. If she wouldn't have made him wear the helmet that day, he would have been dead. It would have been his skull.
Damn.
And ever since then, my mom never's gotten on a bike. And she told me, she said, as long as you live in this house, you're not riding no motorcycle, blah, 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 after that accident. And I've tried to get my mom to ride with me, on the back or whatever. She wouldn't do it. But even though I had that Honda 450 and it was after the accident, she never, I rode it. She just didn't know. She'd be at work because my mom worked two jobs. So I would take it out of the garage and go riding around and stuff and then put it back. But no, Miss Deer slammed road hard to left, crushed left ankle, 5 broken. Oh, wow. But yeah, she never got back on a motorcycle. My dad did. He had a Triumph 1300. My uncle had a Triumph 1800, but both my uncle and my dad's dead now. Not because of motorcycles though.
Yeah, I lost my dad last year around this time.
I think I lost my dad. I think it was, hey, End of World, how you doing? Thanks for coming
Hey,
in.
buddy.
Bring it every day. Appreciate y'all. I think I lost my dad in 2017. Me and my dad really weren't that close, just to let you know. He was
Yeah,
very abusive to me when I was a kid.
always close to my parents.
My mom's
I
a
was
different story.
adopted.
I love my mom to death, but my dad, no.
I was adopted. It was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah,
As far
see,
as as far as I'm concerned, they're my parents, no matter what.
well, yeah, I mean, I love my dad, but I mean, me and him didn't get along or see eye to eye, and he abused me. Like I said, my brother's 3 years younger than me. He never did it to my brother. He always did it to me, and that's why. And he apologized when later on in life, he apologized to me and stuff. But still, I mean, I forgave him, but there's still. So,
Sure. Yeah.
so when he was in the hospital, we knew he was gonna, we knew he wasn't doing good and stuff like that. Me and my brother went up to see him because he was, we're down by Houston, and he was in the Dallas Fort Worth area. He lived in Fort Worth, and so we went and seen him and talked to him and everything else, and then maybe a month later or something, he died, and he had donated his body to science or whatever. And my brother went. He didn't have a funeral, but he had a so I don't know, celebration of life or viewing, not viewing, but something like that. And my brother went up there and he wanted me to go up there or whatever. And I'm like, no, I made peace with my dad when we went and seen him in the hospital. I got to work. I ain't doing it. So my brother was pissed off at me for a while.
Yeah. I wasn't able to go. I I just wasn't able to make the trip. But you know, um, so I'm hoping before summer's out that I'll get to go to Cleveland and at least see his grave. Um, Doctors tried to say that he died of COVID, and he did not. There's a heart problem. And my mom she was livid. I mean, she had to straighten him up and say, no, he did not die of COVID.
Well, see, that's the thing, Tim. I'm just gonna call you Tim. That's the thing, Tim. Honda's are good bikes, man. They last and they run, and they're not that expensive to fix when they break down, compared to like a Harley. But I've never had the money to own a Harley in the first place, or like a. I mean, I don't like. I owned a Kawasaki when I was in the Marine Corps in California, which I loved because California had lane sharing, laws. If you know anything about motorcycle, you could ride side by side, and then at a stoplight, motorcycles could go up to the front through the traffic, and when the light turned green, they could take off and stuff like that. Well, Texas ain't like that. But I had a Kawasaki. It was a crotch rocket when I was
But
in
I'll
the
be
Marine
right
Corps.
back.
Okay. And I was young then and everything else. Well, since then I've gotten older and everything else. I like cruisers and touring bikes, but I never had the money for a touring bike anyway. My VMAXs and my Nighthawk was kind of on the border of being a crotch rocket, but it was more kind of a cruiser, both of them and stuff. So that's what I like. But I mean, and I have the itch to ride. I just ain't got the money to fix my bike, and I don't know that my bike would be worth trying to fix now anyway, being it sat for 4 years and I ain't got money for a new bike or anything. So it is what it is. I just keep my my motorcycle license endorsement and stuff, but maybe someday. Maybe when I'm 90 years old, if I live that long, I'll have a trike or something because the bike will be too hard to hold up. Hi, every day. Hey, every day. I bring it every day. This ain't even my show and he leaves. Ain't even my live and Barry leaves. What the heck? Why do I always get stuck like this? Somebody talk to me. I have hard enough time talking to myself when I'm in my lives. Jump up on panel to help him and he leaves. Yeah, I'd love to have a gold wing. I mean, yeah, they're heavier bikes and everything, but they're more comfortable riding, especially if you do any kind of long distance riding or anything like that. And they have, more room for cup holders or, radios or whatever, and storage. Yeah, it's not funny, Denise. And I'm tired on top of that. And he going to drop the kids off at the pool or something while leaving me up here. Oh, look, Barry's back.
Yeah, I got company.
Did the kids have a nice time at the pool?
No. Yeah, um, they're just gonna have, if they knock on the door, they're just gonna have to be part of the live stream because I don't want to end it just because I have company.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten enough sleep. I stayed up till like 8:39 this morning. My wife was babysitting, so I had a nap or two. But I mean, last 4 days I've been draining.
Yeah, it's me. And it's weird because I've done this all my life, but summer I want to stay up like half the night and then sleep part of the day, which is really I can't get anything done if I do that. You know.
Yeah, you just like that song. I wanna rock and roll. Don't want to get a
Yeah,
copyright, so I'll stop. You know which one I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Kiss.
No, thank you. I'm married.
Fuck yeah. You're not my type. You're not cut right.
Well,
You're
I
not.
heard you like brunettes, buddy. Come on. I know
Oh,
I'm
that's
gray in here,
right.
but you can see I was a brunette. See, I don't like
You're still not cut right, Eddie.
I don't like shaving my head now because I grow hair. Okay, you can see it's growing back or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But here in Texas, I can't stand long hair. And I do have a high forehead. I've always had a high forehead. Maybe it has receded from like here to here or something. I don't know. But people think I'm bald now and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not bald. I can grow hair. It's just I get too hot, and I shave my head. You know, you have that widow's peak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right there.
Mm-hmm.
but But so, anyways, they like they make fun of me like I'm bald. My brother's bald. He has the hair around the side and the back, but he's bald all up on top, like my grandpa on my mom's side. I'm more like my dad's side of the family, which he had hair all up until he died. He may have recessed a little bit, but it was thick and full, and so was my grandpa's on my dad's side and everything else. But I shaved my head because it's too hot here in Texas. Now, see, that's the thing here in Texas, when it's hot, like it's 100 and well, it says rain off and on today, but it hasn't rained a bit. But it's been like 103 degrees, 101 degrees, stuff like that. And with hair, it's just too freaking hot. So I shave my head, and I have, and then being in the Marine Corps, we had short hair anyway. So I was used to short hair. So,
Yeah.
but then people jack with me about it. And I'm like, dude, I got hair. It's just I shave my head. You can see it's growing back,
Yeah.
but it's just I got a high forehead.
I uh, I can't stand hair on my head, so I usually cut it even in the winter.
Yeah, I
I'll
do
have it
too.
just shaved all the way off. And I do it myself. It's I've perfected, using the hair clippers. I've perfected that. It's pretty much just now. It's just all by feel. The worst part is back here, doing it yourself. But
Yeah.
I've managed to do it.
All right, Denise. Good night. Thanks for coming in.
Yep. Have a good night, Denise. Thank you for stopping by. I bring it every day. What you been up to, Kelly? Any more flea markets? So the landlord and his son are here. I'm not sure what they're up to, so I'm going to leave them alone until they knock.
Hold on a minute. I'll be right back.
That's something I haven't thought about yet at supper time. Might wait for the sun to go down before I cook anything. I just don't like how I look with long hair or any hair. That's just me though. Yeah, I'm missing a lot of flea markets, but next month we're going to have the 127 yard sale. That's the one that spans 3 or 4 states, and that follows 127 or Highway 127. I wonder if I could share this with y'all. I'm kind of curious now if they're going to have it this year, considering everything that's going on. But oh yeah, they got the countdown timer and everything. So it looks like we're going to have it this year. So, wow, the traffic will be insane. I'm going to share this with you all. There you go. Spans 690 miles from Addison, Michigan to Gadsden, Alabama, and boasts thousands of vendors every year and clogs up traffic for miles. There you go. There's a map. And if you want to look this up yourself, it's on 127yardsale.com. That's 127yardsale.com. Interested, look that up. Pretty interesting stuff in there. And there's some well, not vendors, but just some private yard sales that are just ridiculously high. I just no idea why. 35th anniversary. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like going to it, but I just don't like the traffic. This 127 is a 2 lane road, north and south. So it does get bottlenecked. But I mean, people are usually pretty cool about it. They try not to block traffic or anything. So. And it's not just down the highway. You pull off the side roads. You don't have yard sales there too. Hmm. You're welcome. Anytime. Might be something to look into. Um, I don't know if I'm going to go or not. I may, but usually try to keep pretty close to home. So uh, probably, like a 12-mile radius. I really don't need anything. Well, I need clothes, but I don't really need anything else. Actually, trying to downsize. You I bring it every day. Are you planning another live soon? Excuse me. I think I'm gonna probably end this live at about 10 minutes after. See what the landlord's up to. I'm gonna murder that gnat if I could ever catch it. There's nothing worse than a gnat flying around when you try and do something. Let's see. We'll figure this out. There's a cat back there. On the counter, and you shouldn't be. Mm-mm-mm. Don't think I don't see you back there, kitty cat. He's on me. Act like he doesn't hear me. Yeah. Well, I wasn't really sure when I was gonna go live, but I knew I needed to because a lot of people were getting after me. So you need to do some lives. And I was like, yeah, okay. You know, I ho hummed about it, and then I was finally like, okay, I have some time to kill, so that's why I'm on now. That's another thing about the other place. I won't have to worry about who's coming up the hill. We have this one guy that rides four-wheeler through the woods and comes out on our driveway, and I'm not sure who he is. All right, Tiny Tim, you have a great evening and a good night. Thanks for stopping by, Tiny Tim. How are my hours going? Honestly, I haven't looked, Kelly. I don't know, but I'll look here in a second though. I keep reaching for my mouse. My mouse battery's dead. Hmm.
Hey Barry,
Yeah.
what you doing?
Hold on a second here. Just looking up my hours. Might cut it off about 10 minutes after.
Okay.
I've got. I'm not sure if they're gonna knock on my door here in a minute, or what they're just doing something else. But landlord's up here.
That's fine. It's your life. You do what you want to.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you. Wish I could too. Hmm. Where's overall hours? For some reason I can never find it. Wow, I don't know. It says 29.5. That's comparison not available. Yeah. Yeah, Kelly's 29.5. I'm hoping I'm looking at the overall hours. Channel analytics. Yep. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to the move, but on the other hand, I'm like, I hate moving. You know, just packing everything up, making sure you got everything, cleaning up, and then unpacking. All right, I bring it every day. You have a great evening. Thanks for stopping in. Always enjoy your company. Uh-oh. Yep, I think I'm gonna cut it right there and step outside, see what the situation is. Nothing else. And if nothing else is going on, I'll get back on here, see who's live. There's no cats on the porch. Might try to do these lives on a Monday. Just got to figure out a good time to do it. Alrighty, I'm gonna call it quits right there. Appreciate you stopping by, Devil Dog,
Hey, no problem, Barry.
and
Anytime, buddy.
hope you have a good evening over there.
Yep, you too, bud.
Alrighty, we'll see you, buddy. See
All right,
everybody on the
man.
panel. I
Later.
appreciate
Thanks for
you.
coming in. Thanks for having me on panel, Barry.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.